Joseph was brought down to Egypt. Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. Yahweh was with Joseph. He was a prosperous man. He was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. His master saw that Yahweh was with him, and that Yahweh made all that he did prosper in his hand. Joseph found favor in his sight. He ministered to him. He made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. From the time that he made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, Yahweh blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. The blessing of Yahweh was on all that he had, in the house and in the field, so he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. Joseph was handsome in form and appearance, but favor would soon be tested. After these things, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph. She said, "Lie with me." But he refused. He said to his master's wife, "Behold, my master doesn't know what is with me in the house, and he has put all that he has into my hand. He isn't greater in this house than I am. Neither has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" As she spoke to Joseph day by day, he didn't listen to her. Integrity would cost him everything. It happened about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his work. There were none of the men of the house inside. She caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." He left his garment in her hand and fled and got out. When she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and had fled, she called to the men of her house and said, "See, he has brought in a Hebrew to mock us." She kept his garment beside her until his master came home. When his master heard the words of his wife, his wrath was kindled. Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in custody. The favored servant became a forgotten prisoner, but Yahweh was with Joseph. He showed kindness to him and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. The keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever they did there, he was responsible for it. The keeper of the prison didn't look after anything that was under his hand, because Yahweh was with him. That which he did, Yahweh made it prosper. Even in chains, the presence of God remained. After these things, the cupbearer of the king of Egypt and his baker offended their lord, the king of Egypt. Pharaoh was angry with his two officers and put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, the prison where Joseph was confined. Joseph came into them in the morning and saw them. They were sad. He asked, "Why do you look so sad today?" They said, "We have dreamed a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it." Joseph said to them, "Don't interpretations belong to God? Please tell it to me." The cupbearer told his dream. Joseph said, "In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your office. You will give Pharaoh's cup into his hand." The baker told his dream. Joseph said, "In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head from off you." On the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, it happened exactly as Joseph had interpreted. The chief cupbearer was restored to his office. The baker was hanged. Yet the chief cupbearer didn't remember Joseph, but forgot him. Faithful in slavery, faithful in temptation, faithful in prison, promoted, accused, forgotten, but not forsaken. For the dream was not dead, and in due time God would remember.